Hello, good morning. So today we are coming with the 1970 FIFA World Cup. That was the ninth edition of the FIFA World Cup that took place in Mexico. This is first time a World Cup is being played other than Europe and South America. So this North America region of Mexico was selected for the ninth edition of FIFA World Cup. This World Cup it took place from 31st May till 21 June, and this was won by Brazil. So Brazil became the only country who won the third World Cup. They won in 1958 in Sweden, 1962 in Chile, and then in 1970 in Mexico. There are good things about this World Cup. We'll come to the Brazil team. It defeated the England in the England, who was the defending champion of 1966 World Cup, in their group match. And then they defeated the Uruguay, which was two-time champions, 1930 and 1950 World Cup. They defeated Uruguay in semi-final. And then they defeated Italy, who was the champion in 1934 and 38. So Brazil is the only country who knocked out three world champion countries in a single World Cup. This has never happened. So you can understand how strong that Brazilian team was at that time. So as usual, 16 teams they participated in this World Cup, and from Asia, Israel selected, and this is the first time and only time in the history of FIFA World Cup that Israel has passed played a World Cup. That is in Mexico. Morocco, they got a chance from Africa first time, and then from CONCACAF region, El Salvador, they were also the debutant country, and Mexico being the host, and from CONMEBOL, South African region, Brazil, Peru, and Uruguay, they qualified. It is first time that Argentina failed to qualify for the World Cup. So there is a difference between failed to qualify and not to participate. As we remember, the Argentina they didn't participated in 1938, 1950, and 1954 World Cup due to logistic reason and some other reasons. But this was the World Cup when they failed to qualify from their CONMEBOL region. CONMEBOL is called for the South American Football Association region. It's called CONMEBOL region. So they failed to qualify. And from Europe, Belgium, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, England, they were the defending champion. Italy, Romania, Soviet Union, Sweden, and West Germany, they qualified for this World Cup. So the format was same, like these 16 teams, they were divided in four groups of four teams each, and the top two teams from each group they will play in the knockout stage, like before the format. So four quarterfinals were set. The first quarterfinal was between Soviet Union and Uruguay, which Uruguay won by one goal. And the second semi-final quarterfinal was between two South American countries, Brazil and Peru, which Brazil won by 4 goals to 2. So this makes a tie between Uruguay, who is the world champion in 1930 and 1950, with the Brazil, who was the champion of 1958, 1962, and both these countries, as we know, geographically belong to South America. The next quarterfinal between Italy and host Mexico, which Italy won by 4 goals to 1. And the big game in the quarterfinal was between the finalists of last World Cup, 1960 World Cup, West Germany and England. And this time, West Germany took the revenge and they defeated England by 3 goals to 2, and this match went into the extra time. So this set a all European semi-final between Italy and Germany, and the other semi-final between two South American champions, Uruguay and Brazil. So this is like a unique thing happened. So in the first semi-final, which was held in Guadalajara, this Mexican city, on 17th June, Uruguay was outclassed by Brazil by 1 goal to 3. And this results Brazil reaching into the final of the 1970 World Cup. In the other semi-final in Mexico City, Italy defeated Germany after extra time by 4 goals to 3. So this set a final between Brazil, who was a champion of 1958 and 1962, with the champion of 1934, 1938, Italy, and that final it took place on 21st of June 1970. The final of 1970 World Cup it took place in Estadio Azteca. Remember this name, Estadio Azteca or Aztec Stadium. You will see in this current World Cup 2026 a lot of games being played in this stadium. A very historic stadium in Mexico. The final of 1986 World Cup also took place in that stadium. So, and the thing of this final, it was attended by a 107,000 crowd. 107,000 crowd. So you can imagine the capacity of the stadium and the huge fan base of these teams in Mexico. The final, as I mentioned before, was won by Italy by 4 goals to 1. And who scored the first goal? Guess. Only one name will come in your mind, Pele. So the Pele, who was playing that fourth World Cup, he scored the first goal in the 18th minute, which was equalized by Italy in 37th minute. So the game was 1-1 by the half time. But in the second half, the Brazil they outclassed the Italians and they scored 3 goals. So thereby they winning the final by 4 goals to 1. The scoreline does not reflect the standard of Italy, but remember Italy was European champion in 1968. They won the Euro 1968, so they are the best team of the Europe at that time. But the Brazilian were simply superb, and they outclassed the Italians, and then they were their third World Cup in 16 years. And as per the FIFA rules, this Jules Rimet trophy, which I showed you in my previous videos, now this will be the property of Brazil. It was decided the country who will win 3 World Cups, first 3 World Cups, he will keep this trophy. And from 1970, there will be a separate World Cup trophy that we shared in our last video. So this is all about the 1970 FIFA World Cup, which was the ninth edition of the tournament that was won by Brazil. Inshallah, we will move on to our next 10th edition of FIFA World Cup 1974 that took place in Europe, West Germany, and the winner is host, West Germany. So we'll share the review of this World Cup in our next video. Stay tuned with Better channel. Thank you. Bye bye.